Trader Tom here, and welcome back to Simply Forex. Welcome to the live stream, and we are here for the next 45 minutes. And guys, there's so much I want to tell you today, and so many trades, right? So as usual, guys, I posted my trades in the free Discord channel, and there was about 300 trades. Excuse me, and I've entered all of them. I'm exaggerating, but it's not far off that. So I've had 2 trades that have hit target, and I'm also in 2 more trades right now. So we're going to look at all of them. So that's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to look at all of them. We're also going to take a look at the reaction to the news. The pound has found some real strength in the market, so we'll take a look at that as well. And we're also going to take as many of your questions as humanly possible in 45 minutes, right? So don't be shy, guys. Get your questions over to me, and I will answer all of them. Also, guys, if I look slightly disheveled and knackered and like I've been in a ring with Mike Tyson, it's because my daughter's daycare, where she normally goes, texted me this morning and all the sprinklers had turned on or something, and the place was soaked and you couldn't go in there. So I've had my daughter with me while I'm trading today. I don't know if that's something to do while I've entered so many trades. I'm not sure. So there you go, guys. She's been bullying me all day. And what else did I want to mention? I also wanted to say commiserations to Arsenal fans, right? PSG were the better team over 2 legs. Arsenal, you need a striker. Unlucky. All right, so there you go. There's a few announcements I wanted to get off my chest. Is there anything else I want to get off my chest before we start? No, I have a silly amount of controllers as well. I've got like fire sticks and all sorts. Anyway, not important. Right, let's focus on trading. You don't care about what I'm doing. Let's focus on trading. And also, guys, don't forget, leave as many questions as you like. Right, so we're going to do some in-depth market analysis to understand why I've taken the trades. It's probably best to show you the trades I've taken. Okay, so let's just start there. I'm getting messages as we go. So guys, here, if we start here, right, I have had a euro sell trade. Also, where is my magic pen? Slacking today, guys, slacking. So as you can see, I've been in euro sell trades, right? And I've been in Swiss franc yen buys, okay? And then if we scroll down, I have also been in, right? And they both hit target, right? Both hit target. And then we're also going to look at the fact that I'm in New Zealand CAD and CAD yen buys as well, right? So pretty much been, taking every trade, because if I show you my trade setups for the day, where are we? Tom's daily trades. Here you go, guys, right? So I've pretty much taken most of them, taken this one, taken this one, taken this one, and taken this one. I've only got 4 or 5 left to trade. I'm only joking, right? I don't normally enter this amount of trades, right? 4 is quite, I can't remember the last time I've entered 4 trades in a day. It just so happens things set up, right? And, people always say that. They're like, Tom, how many trades do you take a day? Or how many trades do you take in a week? What's your percentage target each month? And those are the things I have no control over, right? The market controls them. If I get a setup, I take it, right? I apply my money and risk management. I make sure I'm psychologically okay. And I probably wasn't psychologically okay today because I was looking after my daughter and I think I've got more gray hair. No, it was fun. So yeah, right. As long as I'm ticking all them boxes, I can control that, but I can't control how many trades I get in or if they're successful or unsuccessful, right? So don't worry about things like that when it comes to trading. Focus on your setup and focus on your process, right? Focus on your performance, not the results. Okay. Right. So let's start with Euro US dollar. This was a let's start with the daily chart, right? So let me whiz through these guys, because what I'm showing you again is all quite common sense and logical, right? So we was in an uptrend with Euro US dollar. Then we were in a downtrend. We started getting lower lows, and then we got this nice and lower highs, right? And then we got this nice big bearish candle, right? Tick, 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 tick. Okay. So I'm looking for sells. Then if we drop, and as you know on the weekly, sorry, let's go to the weekly quickly. We've got these big selling candles as well on the weekly, right? Another tick for selling. If we drop down to the H4, this was the last H4 low, right? Because if we just follow structure, right? Soon as we broke this was all on the back of the Fed last night, right? Who kept rates the same, right? But we saw some US dollar strength. So we broke this low. And then when we retraced towards this last low, again, what was once good support here becomes good resistance in here. And I didn't wait for an entry candle. I just entered. And I pretty much got an entry in here, right? And started selling. I put my stop above here, and then I took profit back down here, guys, right? I let some profit run, and I actually took the remainder of the profit down here, literally to the pip before it bounced back up. So that's my first trade. And let's just understand why I didn't wait for an entry candle. So I started selling here, right? But after I entered, then this candle happened, okay? But I didn't enter on that. I didn't start selling here on the close of that candle. I started entering here. So why is that? Because if I entered here, I knew I could hide my stop loss up here, and the trade still had room to move into back down to here. So it was because of the fact that I could hide my stop loss and I still had enough room to move into. All right, so that made me more aggressive with that trade. And at this point, I could get, at least 1:1. And then once I enter that trade, once I see this candle, right, I'm thinking happy days, right? This is great. This is what we were looking for. All right, so that was Euro US dollar. And right now, guys, we have the other trade I've entered so many trades, guys. I don't know my arse from my elbow. Swiss franc yen, right? This was another trade that I took. So again, quite an aggressive trade, really. But on the day chart, right, we are in an uptrend, right? Higher highs, these lows held, higher lows. And then, as we know, with most yen pairs, we got a super duper bullish candle, right? And then on the H4, right, I actually entered in here, right? So once price had come down, I started buying the market in here because I wanted to put my stop loss below 174, right? And I wanted to take price back up to these highs, so I get 1:1. Now, this was a combination of H4 and H1, because if we look at the H1, there was just this level through here. Let's put it in. Sorry, I keep doing this because I got a great big bloody mic in my way. Now I know how Michael Jackson felt. Anyway, so yeah, it was this level that I liked, and then I wanted to hide behind this psychological level, right? And I could do that as well. And then if we just play things along, as long as price kept holding on to this level, right, which it did. So you had a few attempts to get in on this level, right? This one held it, right? This one certainly held it, and this held it, right? And then after that, bang, we've been seeing some real yen weakness, right? So that was my second trade, and that hit target. And in the trades I'm in right now, I've literally just got in this one. So let me show you this one first. So this is CAD yen. So again, like a lot of the yen pairs, we were in an uptrend, right? Everything I keep showing you guys is just rinse and repeat. It's just, price action, right? And I know I'm like, oh, it's price action because it's just bread and butter to me, right? It's just, I just keep doing the same things day in, day out, right? And don't get me wrong, I never get bored of trading, right? I enjoy trading, but what I do is boring, right? It's just repetition. It's just rinse and repeat. And you're in a very good place with your trading if it's boring. If your trading is exciting, I would argue you're in a very bad place, right? You don't, it's a gamble. There's one thing enjoying trading. There's another thing being excited by it, right? I enjoy my job, which is trading, but I don't get excited by big wins or, beat myself up with big losses. But you never get a big loss, right? 1%, right? So, yeah, it's boring, right? But I enjoy it. I hope that makes sense. But anyway, in an uptrend, we started seeing bullish candles, right? Literally at the moving average 20. You could draw a bit of a trend line through here as well, right? Okay, we're in an uptrend, okay? And if we look at the H4, right, we basically we wasn't sure what was happening. If I go back a couple of candles, now at this point, right, this is important, guys, right? So at this point, sorry guys, I'm just bringing up the live chat, right? At this point, we're kind of in a downtrend, right? Well, not kind of, we are, but there's lots of like a sideways action. Okay. So there's a bit of sideways action here, right? Now, we're below the moving average 20 at this point. Now, because of that big bullish daily candle, right, all I say to myself is this: if I get a big H4 candle break out of this area, then I know we are back in an uptrend, right? Because we've broken these highs and this contraction in price, this sideways movement. And then bang, right? And that's exactly what happens, right? Let's go back to real time. Bang, right? We get this big bullish candle. And then all I say to myself is I will wait for price to retrace to this last high here. And it did. If it doesn't and it just shoots off, so be it, right? I don't care. I don't suffer with FOMO. I don't care, right? Also, I have my daughter pulling my hair and trying to put makeup on me, right? I hope I haven't got any left. I just like wearing lipstick, really. Anyway, so we had this big bullish candle, a retrace into this level, and I've just started buying, right? So I'm buying here. My stop is below these last swing lows here, and I'm looking to take price back up to this area in here and this 105 area. And that's the trade I've literally just gotten into. All right. And then my final trade, need to lie down. There's too many trades today, guys. This is unheard of. It's like I'm a scalper, but I'm not, right? Anyway, 4 trades, right? And this is so this is Canadian dollar strength as well. I am doubling up on risk. I'm aware of it. I'm doubling up on the fact that we're getting Canadian dollar strength. Okay, I am. I'm also playing on the idea we're getting yen weakness, right? And New Zealand weakness, right? But yen's the weakest, okay, currently. But anyway, let's go through this again. So just so you kind of understand, guys, really, just what I'm doing now. A few days ago, right? This was in an uptrend, right? But I'm willing to take sells, right, because of the weekly, right? The weekly, we have come up and hit some, weekly highs here, right? And picked up this last weekly high here, okay? And also on the weekly, guys, please bear in mind we are in a downtrend, right? And then on the daily, we just got a big bearish candle, right? So we got that is a very big bearish candle. That is a bearish engulfing candlestick pattern. Now, I don't give a what the name of the candlestick pattern is. It doesn't wind me up when people go, "Oh, have you seen this candlestick pattern?" I'm like, it doesn't matter, right? You just need to know, are buyers or sellers in control? Now, I couldn't care if this candlestick pattern was called a Trumpy bumpy one. I don't know. I couldn't think of a name. I don't care what the name of this candlestick pattern is. Right? But what I do care about is what this candle is telling me. And it's telling me sellers have taken control. Clearly, right? And then to back that up, we also had a H4 breakdown, right? I've almost had a mental breakdown as well today because I was looking after my daughter. But look, right, we're in an uptrend, higher lows, higher highs, right? And remember, it becomes a downtrend or a break of structure when we get a break of this level. Price comes shooting down, we break this low, we're in a downtrend. We retrace to the moving average 20, right? It's such a wonderful piece of dynamic resistance in this case, right? And then look at the candle we got there. Super duper bearish. It also broke that low. I checked this. It actually depends what broker you look at, right? But whether it broke this low or not. But this is a super duper bearish candle. Guys, I will stop prattling on in a minute and take your questions. I've just got so many bloody trades, right? And all I did was see this candle, right? This is my target down here. I know where I want to put my stop loss up here. And then I just wait. I wait for price to roughly give me 1:1. So I started entering in here, right? 1:1 roughly. And I'm now in this trade selling it. Okay. And if you look on the H1, right, we have, not super bearish candles, but you can see there's some sellers coming in here. But, even if it does want to go up a little bit further, like I say, my stop loss is up here. All right, go, guys. That is all of my trades that I have taken and that I am in. Whew. Right, I need a drink, guys, after all that. Right, let's see who is in the house. Tom's like a man possessed with all his trade setups, sending in the VIP, and they're winning. Yes, well, we're doing all right. Yeah, I feel like a man possessed today. And like I say, I do need a little lay down. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, how are you? Brett, what's your thoughts on dollar pairs? Okay, we'll take a look at them. Sayed, hi Tom, thanks for your live vid. Please explain what is hedge funding or who are hedge funders. It's a system I use, Sayed. So I'll clear that up because we literally released a hedging tutorial vid yesterday, I think it was. I can't keep up with the editor, right? But I think there was a video yesterday about hedging. But no hedge funding, right? You got prop firm funding, but no hedge funding. But hedging is a system that I use, so we can take a brief look at that, guys. But check out the tutorial that I posted. And then what else do we want to look at? Sorry, guys, I keep doing this because I've got such a bloody big mic in my way. Let's do this. Okay, so let's start with dollar pairs and all of my trade ideas today, guys, right? Again, let's go back to here, right? So all of my trade ideas, it's just US dollar strength, US dollar strength, US dollar strength, US dollar strength. And pretty much every single one of them have had US dollar strength, right? Especially yen. Now, therefore, I am bullish US dollar, right? The only one that has, look at pound, right? The only one that's bucked the trend is pound. And we know why that is, right? Because if we go to the economic calendar now, right, we had the Bank of England interest rate decision, right? Okay, I have a variable mortgage. I want that to go down to 0%. I don't know what I would need to do to make that happen. So you're probably thinking the interest rate is as expected. Why the hell is pound so strong? And it's basically this, right? So you have members vote, members of the Bank of England vote, right? And they vote whether to cut rates the next month in May, right? Or the next time they do it, leave them unchanged. Now, originally, there was going to be 8. What the hell has happened here? Right, so he was going to have 9 people vote for a rate cut, and we was going to have none for unchanged. But it just so happens 2 less people, right, voted for a cut, and therefore 2 more people think we should leave it at 4.25%. So that is a big difference. That is what has led to pound strength. Okay, because of a rate cut means pound weakness, and unchanged means pound strength, and that's what we're seeing, right? So I really dislike these 2 people because I want this interest rate to go down for purely selfish reasons, a mortgage basically. But there you go. So that's why we're seeing strength in the pound. But generally speaking, guys, I mean, look at US dollar yen. As I explained earlier, I chose euro US dollar, but look at US dollar, Japanese yen, US dollar strength. You look at any of them, US dollar, Swiss franc. Okay, not as strong. It's held on to this level, right? But US dollar strength, New Zealand dollar, US dollar, right? US dollar strength has a bit more room to move into, right? Which plays into my New Zealand CAD idea as well. So yeah, so there you go, guys. US dollar strength across the board today, right? We managed to take advantage of some of that. Guys, also, if you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and please smash the like button. Thank you very much. Also, guys, don't forget to join our free trading community. You can come join our free Discord channel. And if you do so, guys, we will give you 50% off the Simply Forex Complete Trading course. All right, so no brainer, come join the free Discord. Also, guys, if you want access to all of our premium trading education, including the course, including the mentorship program where I coach you one-on-one, also the VIP Trading Academy, then please go check out our website, www.simply-forex.com. All right, so go check that out. Also, guys, today's live stream is brought to you by Pepperstone, a world-class leading broker. And if you deposit with them, swap your current broker, or just get a broker, then they will give you a free essential TradingView subscription, and we will give you free access to the VIP Trading Academy. It is a no-brainer. Please swap your broker right now. It really is a no-brainer. You're getting TradingView and you're getting a VIP subscription to our Trading Academy. What's not to like? Right, guys, let's see what other questions we have in the house. So Syed says, please explain what is hedge funding. So there isn't such a thing as hedge funding. There's hedge funds, right? So hedge funds, big investment firms, they have traders, analysts, and they trade your money. They make you money, right? You give them your money, they try to make you money, and they take their commissions, right? And a performance fee usually. So that's a hedge fund. Hedging is a strategy that I use instead of a stop loss, right? And if you want to know about that, guys, and how I use hedging as an important part of my trading arsenal, then go check out the hedging tutorial I literally posted yesterday. When I say I mean the editor, because I am like a baboon when it comes to technology and social media. Ironic, I know. Right, what else are we looking at? Okay. Bass, hi Tom, can you tell us something about market conditions? Sometimes giving 5 setups a day across the board, and sometimes none at all anywhere. I have no idea, but would love your point of view. So Baz, I touched on this earlier, right? Now, this is very important for all of you traders to understand, right? It's so important. And I've mentioned it a few times, right? But you must control the controllables, right? The controllables are this, right? You can control your strategy, where you enter, where you put your stop loss, your target, right? Your entry trigger, your setup, right? You control that, right? You can also control how much you risk per trade. You can control your money and risk management, right? You can also control your psychology to a point, right? But the idea is that you're very calm and very level-headed when you trade, right? You don't want to, split up with your husband or girlfriend and start trading, or maybe you've got fired from work. That'd be a blessing, to be honest. Something like, don't trade after you've had something like that happen, right? You want to be level-headed. But you can control them. You can control your strategy, your money and risk management, and your psychology, right? What I can't control is the market. Now, the market, and also let me just tell you this as well, those 3 things that I just mentioned, they make up your performance, okay? And all consistency and profitability comes from controlling those 3 things every day, right? Unfortunately for you, that's why trading's difficult, right? You're juggling 3 balls, right? Strategy, psychology, and money and risk management. And for you to be consistent, you have to keep all of those balls in the air. Not one of them can slip. If one slips, it's usually you've lost money, right? So that's what makes trading difficult, right? But it's also simple in the fact that they're the only 3 things you can control, right? So you can control your performance by focusing on those 3 things, right? And be process driven, not results driven. Now, what I can't control is the market. So one day the market may be very generous and say, Tom, I'm going to give you 4 trades today that you can trade. I'll be like, okay, marvelous, thank you. The next day, they might be like, Tom, they don't speak to me. I haven't gone fully mad yet. Give it time, right? But then the market might say, Tom, you have no trades today. And I'll be like, okay, right? And it's very, you must be aware, right? So if you've got no setups, don't go chasing trades, right? And if you've got a load of setups, right, like today, just make sure they all make sense, right? And that they are genuine setups. And that's all you can focus on, right? So as long as it's a setup that is part of your strategy, then trade it. Doesn't matter if you get 1 setup, 5 setups, or no setups, right? I just trade my system. Now, and that's all I do, right? And, it goes back to that point that it's trading's boring, right? I've got my setup. I just trade it. At the end of the month, I go, right, let's have a look at things, right? Okay, I'm up 3%. Marvelous. And that's it, right? Yeah, focus on those things, guys. My mic is really agitating me today. Yeah, so Syed has just put a definition of a hedge fund. Yeah, that is not what my tutorial is about. My tutorial is about my hedging strategy. So go check it out. Arm Link wants to look at euro pound. News in 1 minute. Thank you. Right. Okay. So thank you, Scott, for reminding me. I am terrible with the news. It's because I'm not in any US dollar pairs. Now, we've had initial jobless claims, better than expected, not massively. Continuing jobless claims, better than expected, not massively. Non-farm productivity, worse than expected by quite a bit. So that, right, and this is what I love about the news, that should lead to US dollar strength, right? Would you agree? Now, let's have a look at US dollar pair. Nothing. Honestly, let's have a look at US dollar yen. Okay, right, bit of US dollar strength, but no large reaction to that news, guys, right? Let's have a look at euro US dollar. Okay, yeah, bit of US dollar strength. Okay, we're seeing a little bit of US dollar strength off the back of that, and that news can only help what I'm seeing with US dollar strength, right? But the thing with the US dollar pairs now, right? Like I entered here on euro US dollar, took profit down here. Now, if you didn't catch that initial move, it's difficult to get in because we know there's lots of support down here, right? Do you want to keep trying to sell into that? There is one, New Zealand US dollar, right? That would suggest we have a bit more room to move into, right? Back down to here. So if you did want to trade a US dollar pair, right, you can see price has just bounced off this area. So New Zealand US dollar sales are interesting, but I'm in New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar sales, right? So that's more interesting than US dollar pairs at the moment. CAD yen, okay, good. This is what we want to see, right? Like I say, guys, I'm in this trade, yeah, trying to take it up to here. Right, what else are we looking at? You can just see me like this. It's like I'm, ducking and weaving, like I'm in the ring. New Zealand Swiss franc electrician. I love your name. Just electrician. That's made me chuckle. It's like, what do you do? Obvious, right? I hope you are an electrician. Do I hope you are an electrician? I hope you're not. I hope you are an electrician. That would be funnier than if you're not an electrician. Can you please confirm if you're an electrician or not? I need to know. New Zealand dollar Swiss, yes, is an electrician. Good. Then it's funny. It's funnier. Right, New Zealand Swiss franc for electrician. I can just imagine you going round to a job and that you're like, hi, I'm electrician. Does what it says on the tin. Right, New Zealand Swiss franc. Let's do a top-down approach, guys, and let's do this all together. Right? Now, weekly chart, right? We are in a downtrend. No two ways about it. And we have got back to some interesting support levels. That's support and that is support. Right? So we've got back to some interesting levels. Okay. And we're in a downtrend. And obviously, I mentioned this yesterday, you must wait for the candle to finish before you can take any information from it. Right? But this candle thus far is bearish. And we've only got one more day to go, right? It's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, just in case you wasn't sure, right? Maybe you've been drinking heavily and you don't know what day of the week it is. But we're seeing that, right? And if we go to the day chart, right, we are seeing price, like I say, react at these support levels. Now, aggressively, right, and this is, I would say, when that broke, really, right? This has been in an uptrend, right? But we're in a weekly downtrend. You know, and are we starting to see a double top? Now, for a double top to really take shape, we would need a break of this low, right? So if we get a nice big bearish candle breakthrough here, I think we have, you know, a bit of a retrace. We have a really nice sell trade on our hands, right? But also, right, that would be the best thing to do, right? But I'm also a strong believer in trading the daily candle. It's so important, right? And just look at that candle. That is super bearish. So that would suggest maybe we can come back down to these lows, right? Okay, so today, you know, it wasn't one of my trade ideas because we are in this uptrend, right? We're getting a double top and we've got a nice big bearish candle. But how much, you know, we're at the moving average 20, how much room does that really have to move? So it's not a trade idea. But if you said, Tom, you have to trade this, otherwise we will tie you to a horse, buy some rope, and drag you around some gravel, right? Not nice. Then I would sell this, right? And if you look at the H4, guys, it literally had a break of structure as well. So if we just follow H4 trend, uptrend, and then bang, we've broken these lows in here. We've actually this candle here, right? If I go literally to the close of that candle, you can see it breaks all of those lows. The one before it doesn't. But that candle right there, this little bad boy, does. The body of that candle breaks these lows. And that is the last low, right? We've got a nice retrace towards the moving average 20, and then we've got a nice big bearish candle, right? Now, the question is, you know, firstly, do you want to sell into that? And even if it does break through that, you've then got that. And if it breaks through that, you've then got this down here. So there's, you know, I like to see free air, right? You know, as in nothing below this, right? But this just has support level, support level, support level. So even if I did want to sell it, the fact that we have so many support levels below it just decreases the success of this trade, right? Just logically thinking. So yeah, I'm not interested in this. But like I say, if I had to trade it, I would sell it. Right, guys, what other questions have we got today? Let's take a look. Sorry, Euro Pound. Armlink, I do apologize. I haven't forgotten about you. It's just the name electrician come up and I had to answer it. Okay, so you've already sold. All right, so I'm going to move my mic for the next live stream. So electrician's already sold. Yeah, hopefully you got somewhere in here, right? And you've had potentially a nice trade. Was there any H1 candles up here? Okay, so there was, I like this candle, right? Bit of a reach start from that level. Okay, so yeah. Nice. If you're in that already, you've probably made some nice profit, electrician. Right, Euro Pound. Now, okay. Now, obviously, pound has just been very distorted off the back of pound interest rate decision, right? Not so much the decision, but the members voting, as I explained earlier, right? But when news comes out and everything starts flying around, the best advice is just to come out, right? So take a bigger view, right? Bigger view. Take a bigger time frame view. I think that's what I mean. So start with a weekly chart. And Euro Pound looks like a bloody wonderful buying opportunity. I'm genuinely interested in this level, right? We are clearly in a weekly uptrend, higher lows, higher highs, clearly, right? We've retraced all the way back down to an important area of support, right? This is an old target. Let me remove that. And we've also got the moving average 20 catching up, right? This could be a really nice area for buys on the weekly chart, right? Now, I won't just buy, it's at a nice support area, let's start buying, right? I need more information than that, but I see that as a very nice buying area. Now, if you go to the day chart, what you're going to find is this with Euro Pound. Because you are on the day chart, again, this is just facts, right? That's what I deal in. I deal in facts. It's very important that you understand that as well, guys, right? It's not my opinion. I'm giving you facts and you make your mind up according to the facts, right? That's what trading's about. It's not for, I think the USA is going to reduce interest rates in April. Okay. Sorry, not in June, not last. I think the Bank of England is going to increase interest rates in July, right? Do you also have the winning lottery numbers, please? Right? Cannot trade like that. What you can trade on is the facts in front of you on the chart, and what you're seeing is a daily downtrend and a very nice weekly support level, as I showed you. Now, because you have these two opposing forces, again, fact, right? That's what they are. You are probably going to get this market do this. And then eventually we need a winner. And I am inclined, well, not again, just total hypocrite, right? I'm not inclined, but because of that weekly chart, inclined is the right word. I'm inclined to buy Euro Pound. But again, I will let the market tell me. I will let the market show me. And if price just ranges in here and we finally get a nice bullish candle that breaks out of it, I will buy this market, right? If we end up with a big bearish candle that drops below it, I would consider selling this market. But because of that weekly chart, I would be more comfortable buying it. Right, and that's it. That's how I will roll with Euro Pound. So even if that means waiting for 3 weeks, right? I look at 28 currency pairs, commodities, indices. I've got enough pairs to trade. So even if Euro Pound is just out of action for a bit, no problem, right? I've got another 27 pairs I can look at. Right, so wait for this market to tell you what to do. Don't have any preconceived ideas. Now, people will say you could trade the range. Okay, you could, right? But I don't. That's scruffy price action to me, right? But if you drop down to the H4, right, it would. Look at that price action. That is scruffy. Right? It's scruffy. So, yeah, I would still just wait for price to do something either side of this. So there is Euro Pound. Guys, if you're enjoying my analysis, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and please smash the like button. Also, guys, come join our free trading community. Come join our free Discord, right? It's free. And right now, if you sign up for our free Discord, it's free. We will give you a 50% off coupon for our Simply Forex complete trading course. If you also want access to all of our premium trading education, then please go check out our website, www.simply-forex.com. tradingview.com. And also, guys, please don't forget the sponsors of our live stream today are Pepperstone. And if you open up an account with Pepperstone, a world-class broker compatible with TradingView, they will give you an essential TradingView subscription, and we will give you free access to the VIP Trading Academy. No brainer. Sign up today, guys. All right. And on that note, thank you very much for your time today, guys. Hope you have a great trading day, and I will see you again soon. Adios, amigos. And again, the editor is not here, so I have to do this. Bear with me 1 second.